I really remember my choice between these two girls. One of them was older. She was mature, sophisticated, educated, and she was an international student from China, which is kind of like a weird thing. Me and my friends were boys, but we always believed it was impossible to infiltrate an international student group because those groups were always kind of tight-knit, and you'd pretty much never see those girls on Tinder or in nightclubs, which is where we would go to meet women at the time. And so to meet this girl, I did something different that was out of my comfort zone. I cold approached her in the gym. I noticed her a couple of times in the gym because we had like a small gym inside of our building. She was small and busty and come on bro, I'm horny as f. And so one time I deadass just walked over to her and just asked her a stupid ass question like, hi, excuse me, do you know what time this gym closes? Now bro, between me and you, I went to that gym every single day. I knew that that gym was a 24-hour gym, but I just asked the question just to speak to her. And she says like, oh, I think it closes at 10 p.m. Inside of my mind, I'm just thinking, yo, this is stupid, bro. It's 24 hours. But I'm like, oh, 10 p.m. Yeah, thank you. What's your name? So I end up speaking, I get her number and we text, and she actually texts me saying that she actually saw me one time previously. And I remember her being so different from like the university girls that I was sleeping with. Because I was around 20 years old, I was sleeping with girls who were around 20, and this girl, I think she was 25 or 26. And the first time I actually met her like outside of the gym, you know, we texted. It was kind of weird as because she invited me to come over to her room, so I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna and it was like, I could just tell she was not that kind of girl. And she literally, bro, she literally kept a knife in her room, like she cut up like fruit, kept the knife there and almost saying like, yeah, she's got it for like self-defense in cases I try anything. I was like, what the f? So at this moment, I was used to just seeing a girl and sleeping with her almost right away. Whereas for this one, literally that first time I saw her, she literally just kissed me in the cheek. So I kind of like closed this girl off in my mind thinking, oh, well, I'm not going to sleep with her, so I won't think about her. Days pass by, I don't really think about her because I'm sleeping with this other girl that we're going to talk about. And then this international student messages me saying like, I've ruined her gym life. She keeps looking out for me. She's like, she keeps thinking about me. She's getting feelings for me. I invite her over, we have sex, and we start having sex consistently. And there was a problem with that. I appreciate you might not want to watch this video because I'm going to go into like some kind of vulgar details about like f***ing girls, so you might not want to watch, but it is kind of important to describe the kind of man I was at the time, because the other girl that I was interested in was part of like my friendship group, and we used to like take drugs together, we used to go out and party together, and after we would go to like parties or nightclubs or raves, me and her would come back and we would But one thing about this other girl who was like British, I'll be totally honest and vulgar and like graphic details, she could take dick. At the time I was so into like this red pill, like, you know, I want everyone to know that I'm shagging, I'm a top shagger. Like I wanted, like it was an egotistical thing, bro. I wanted everyone to know that I was having sex. So it was like my objective when I was having sex with a girl to make it as like loud and aggressive as possible. And almost every girl that I was sleeping with, of course, it would be like too much for them. It would be too painful and it would kind of like annoy me. Whereas this other girl who I used to go to parties with, she f***ing impressed me, bro. There was not one single time where she ever like couldn't handle it. And so I was very attracted to that in like kind of like a toxic way. Whereas that nice Chinese girl couldn't. And so here I had in front of me a girl who brought many, many good values, who was so sophisticated. She had a different culture, but it was like such a culture of like respect. Like this girl from China, she would literally buy me like presents, like very like targeted, specific presents. She knew that I like weightlifting, so she bought me weightlifting gloves, and she was always so like supportive and so sweet. She wanted to take me out. Oh, I was a fucking dick to her, bro. I just remembered one time, like we had a plan to like go out for dinner, and she said like, oh yeah, she would buy, and she like dressed up proper nice. And like on the time that we were supposed to go, like I was just in the gym, like not even taking her seriously. And so when she messaged me like, are you ready? I literally told her like, oh, I'm in the gym. She walks down in a dress, like looking really nice, and I'm like in the gym with my boys, almost like just kind of thinking that she's like a fool. Like why does she expect for me to go on a date, even though I told her that I would? And so she came down, hugged me, and then she looked like heartbroken, and she would send me like long paragraphs saying that she, you know, she really wanted me, but that she felt lonely and that she felt like she wasn't being taken serious. I was a fucking toxic little prick at this time, man. When I had this choice between these two girls compared to a girl who brought so much to the table in terms of like relationship value, I literally just chose the one who helped my ego the most in terms of like being able to like let me f as loud as possible.